Now, voters across Iran will be electing a new president this week, but just a few days before the poll, the main reformist in the race has dropped out. And he's the second candidate to withdraw in as many days. So that leaves just 6 candidates vying to succeed Mohammad Ahmadinejad, 5 of them ultra-conservative. Well, let's go live now to Jon, who's in Tehran. Jon.
Kathy, although this was anticipated, it's certainly going to cause some kind of a dramatic shift in the dynamic. Dr. Aref, seen here at his final rally late last night, he became the most outspoken of the presidential runners. He was calling for a shift in Iran's nuclear stance and for a new chapter in the country's foreign relations. And oddly enough, the window of this campaign has actually allowed discussion of things that no one would have dared mention in the past. Mr. Aref dared, but clearly decided he wasn't going to win and wanted to unite the reformist ticket.
So what, if any, reform movement now then, Jon?
Well, it does mean there is just one reformist candidate. Some people don't think he is as reformist as Mr. Aref. I think that may be right, but he is definitely reformist. He talks the language. Now, he's been leading his purple-coloured campaign across the country in assorted rallies. When I was down in his office the other day, I noticed that a lot of his supporters are very educated, essentially middle-class, young Iranians. It's interesting that on the nuclear front, on the television, he dared to say this. He said, listen, I don't mind the nuclear centrifuges running as long as the Iranian people are running. The economy is paramount, he said. What's also interesting is that at some of his rallies, there's been chanting demanding the release of political prisoners. There are several hundred still in prison ever since the 2009 elections, which of course had an aftermath of appalling violence. Kathy?
Well, so far, so very Iranian. What about our relationship with Iran? Can you shed any more light on that?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's none of the excitement of 4 years ago. It is very controlled. Reformists in particular are very unhappy to appear on camera. There is a powerful sense around us of what is right to report, what is wrong to report. But as far as we're concerned, the chances are that the conservative, the nuclear negotiator, Saeed Jalili, will win. And in which case, we're going to have to find a way to talk to a man that we never managed to talk to properly when he was nuclear negotiator, but we'll have to find a new way to talk to him now that he's president. And that will make him a more powerful Ahmadinejadian sort of a person. If, of course, Mr. Rouhani wins, and that is highly unlikely, well, that would be a wind of change, and there clearly would be possibly a new dialogue possible in Iran. But what the Iranians have done is to guarantee that on Friday the world will be watching to see precisely what they're doing right here in Tehran.
Well, Jon, thank you very much, and we'll see you back in the studio very soon. And for more on our coverage of the run-up to the elections in Iran, you can go to our website, that's channel4.com/news, and follow the link all the way to the story.